For centuries, we've walked these famous cobblestones, believing we knew Pompeii. But the real secrets weren't meant to be seen. They were hidden, buried twice over. Now, archaeologists are exploring this hidden world, and what they're finding could rewrite the final moments of the people who lived and died in the shadow of Vesuvius. What they built and what they hid has been a mystery for 2,000 years. Until now. For almost 2,000 years, the story of Pompeii seemed to be written in stone and ash. We've all seen the images, the iconic chariot-rutted streets, the grand villas, and the ghostly figures frozen in their final, tragic moments. We thought we knew the story, but it turns out we were only scratching the surface. The deepest secrets of Pompeii weren't on its streets, but sealed in a silent, dark world right beneath them. A world of hidden passages, forgotten rooms, and the untold stories of those who lived in the city's shadows. The gateway to the underworld. Our journey doesn't start in a sunny courtyard or a bustling public square. It begins right here, at a simple opening in the ground, a breach into the earth itself. This is the entrance to a Pompeii few were ever meant to see. For generations, archaeology focused on the city that was buried by Vesuvius. But a new era of exploration, led by the director of the Archaeological Park of Pompeii, Gabriel Zuchtrigal, and his team, is looking down. They are venturing into the literal foundations of the city, a dark, almost mythical place that holds very real secrets. This underground world isn't just one thing. It's a complex, layered history of what came before the eruption, and even what came after. It's a place of brilliant Roman engineering, and in some cases, desperate modern greed. To understand what was hidden, you have to realize there isn't just one secret, but many, each leading deeper into the past. As we get ready to enter, the air cools, and the sounds from the busy archaeological site above just fade away. We're leaving the familiar world behind and stepping into the city's hidden depths. The veins of the city, Roman engineering. The first space we enter isn't a room, but a massive stone-lined passage. This is Pompeii's ancient stormwater system, a network of tunnels that acted as the city's veins. Before the eruption, when storms rolled in from the Bay of Naples, these channels kept the city from flooding, a testament to the incredible civil engineering of the Romans. Recently, archaeologists and speleologists, or cave experts, have explored and mapped over 450 meters of these passages. They found a system built in phases over centuries, with some parts dating as far back as the 3rd century BCE. The tunnels start from big cisterns under the city center, cleverly channeling water down under major streets like the Via Marina and out toward the sea. Walking through here is like walking through the mind of a Roman engineer. You can see the precision, the foresight, the sheer scale of it all. They weren't just building for their time. They were building a city to last. And in a strange twist, these ancient tunnels are so well designed, there's talk of restoring them to help manage flooding at the site today. The work of Roman engineers, buried for 2 millennia, might just serve the city once again. But as we move deeper, we find that not all the tunnels under Pompeii were built for such a noble purpose. Another, more sinister network is tangled with the first, and it speaks not to Roman ingenuity, but to human greed. The tunnels of thieves as we move from the grand Roman canals into narrower, rougher passages, the feeling changes. These tunnels are chaotic, unpredictable, even dangerous. These are not the work of city planners. They are the work of thieves. In the 18th and 19th centuries, long before careful archaeology began, treasure hunters sponsored by the ruling Bourbon dynasty plundered Pompeii's riches. These weren't excavations. They were smash-and-grab jobs. The looters dug a maze of illicit tunnels right through the hardened volcanic rock, crisscrossing the buried city. They often cut straight through frescoed walls, smashed floors, and collapsed entire rooms, destroying priceless history in their hunt for statues, gold, and jewelry. For modern archaeologists, rediscovering these tunnels has been a shock. They reveal a secret history of the site's desecration. At the famous Villa of the Mysteries, for instance, a complex network of these illegal tunnels was found burrowing right under its priceless frescoes, a near miss that could have destroyed a global treasure. And at the suburban villa of Civita Giuliana, the fight against modern-day tomb raiders, known as Tomaroli, is what actually led to some of the most profound recent discoveries. The damage they caused is a permanent scar, but their illegal tunnels unintentionally pointed modern archaeologists toward areas they might have otherwise missed, rewriting Pompeii's history in the process. The forgotten homes, glimpses of the voiceless leaving the tunnels, we emerge into a space that feels both intimate and profoundly sad. We're now in a newly excavated part of a large Roman villa, a section that lay buried under more than 20 feet of volcanic rock. But it's not the grand halls that have captured the world's attention. It's a small, stark room that offers an unprecedented glimpse into a world that, until now, has been almost invisible. The world of the enslaved. Here, in the Civita Giuliana Villa, archaeologists have uncovered the servants' quarters, and using the famous plaster casting technique, they have brought the daily reality of these forgotten people to life. The room is small and sparsely furnished, but what's here is extraordinary. Archaeologists found the imprints of 3 wooden beds. By pouring plaster into the cavities left by the decayed wood, they recreated their exact forms. These aren't fancy couches. They're simple beds, some with rope webbing for a base, the imprints of which are still visible. 2 beds are about 1.7 meters long, but a third is much smaller, just 1.4 meters, likely for a child who lived and worked here. Beneath the beds, they found their humble possessions: large amphorae for storage, simple ceramic jugs, and a chamber pot. A wooden chest held parts of harnesses for the horses' stable nearby, a direct link to their daily labor. This wasn't a place of comfort. It was a cramped, functional space for work and rest. The walls are bare, with a single small window high up for light. This discovery is a game changer. Written history is overwhelmingly the story of the elite. We have letters and poems from wealthy Romans, but the voices of the enslaved and the laborers, the vast majority of the population, are silent. This room, frozen in time, speaks for them. It gives us a raw, unfiltered look at their lives, transforming them from an abstract idea into real people with beds to sleep in and pots to store their few belongings. The last sanctuary, a private world of luxury and fear. From the stark world of the servants' quarters, our journey now takes us to an even more recent and spectacular discovery, a place that shows the immense gap between the lives of the enslaved and their masters. In early 2025, archaeologists in Regio 9, a wealthy part of the city, uncovered one of the most stunning finds in a generation: a massive, luxurious private bathhouse. Stepping into this space, the contrast is breathtaking. This is an entire spa complex, big enough for 30 guests, designed for pleasure, business, and showing off wealth. The park's director, Gabriel Zuchtriegel, says it may be the largest private thermal complex ever found in a Pompeian home. It was a place for the city's elite to network, close deals, and build political support, all while enjoying the height of Roman luxury. But this story of luxury has a tragic ending. Inside this opulent home, archaeologists found the remains of 2 people who sought refuge during the eruption. One was a woman, found clutching her jewelry and coins wealth she maybe hoped to use for a new life. The other was a younger man. Archaeologist Sophie Hay described how a pyroclastic flow, a superheated wave of gas and ash, tore down the street outside, causing a wall to collapse and killing the man instantly. The woman would have witnessed his death before the room filled with the volcanic surge, sealing her own fate. The bigger picture, a city of secrets, these underground discoveries, the engineered tunnels, The looters' scars, the servants' quarters, and the luxury bathhouse are more than just isolated finds. Together, they paint a far richer and more human picture of Pompeii than ever before. They force us to look beyond the grand public buildings and see the city for what it truly was, a layered society full of ingenuity, inequality, art, and secrets. The work of archaeologists like Gabriel Zuchtriegel is shifting the focus from just uncovering beautiful objects to understanding the systems that made the city run. The stormwater tunnels reveal a society with a deep understanding of urban planning. The discovery of a fully intact street food shop, a thermopolium with traces of pork, fish, and beef still in its pots, brings the diet of the common person to life. The vibrant frescoes found even in modest homes show a culture where art was woven into daily life for more than just the elite. But the most profound shift is in understanding the lives of the lower classes. The finds at the Civita Juliana Villa are revolutionary because they provide direct, physical evidence of the lives of the enslaved, a group almost entirely absent from written history. These finds help us move beyond an elitist view of history and give a voice to the marginalized. We are beginning to see Pompeii not just as a city of wealthy villa owners, but as a complex ecosystem of merchants, bakers, laundry workers, and servants, all living interconnected lives. The secrets hidden beneath Pompeii's streets have revealed a city far more complex than we ever imagined. We've journeyed through tunnels of brilliant engineering and criminal greed. We've stood in the cramped quarters of the enslaved and the opulent private spa of the elite. Each discovery peels back another layer, showing us not just how these people died, but exactly how they lived. But the story is far from over. What's truly incredible is that after centuries of work, a full third of Pompeii still lies buried. An entire section of the city remains a mystery, a time capsule waiting to be opened. Future discoveries might not even be in the city itself, but in the surrounding countryside, in the farms and villas that supported this vibrant place. The work here continues every single day. The ground beneath Pompeii still holds countless stories, waiting for the day they can finally be told.